Hey guys, Principal Comic Book University, an Amazing Spider-Man issue number 29, Secret Empire tie-in. I have been waiting for this for months, and it's finally here. Did not disappoint. Absolutely did not disappoint. First off, I've got to give credit where credit is due. Just really quick, Dan Slott, Christos Cage, freaking amazing job. Freaking amazing job. But Stuart Immonen, I don't think I've seen art like this in a while. All right, like this isn't the greatest art out there, whatever, but like, man, some of the artwork in here is literally like, how did he do this? The detail spent in this, absolutely amazing. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Doc Ock look better. Like this costume that he's in, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, and hate me all you want, dude. Send me your hate. All right, how does Emperor Palpatine say that? But like, real talk, guys, I love Doctor Octopus. I've always liked Doctor Octopus. When he became Superior Spider-Man, he became my favorite version of Spider-Man ever. I'm talking all the realities, all the Earths, all the dimensions, all the Spider-Verse. Superior Spider-Man is my absolute hands-down favorite. That's an easy landslide win. But like here, like he looks good. Like this costume is a perfect fit on him. Get rid of the Hydra symbols later on and just make it a flat-out octopus. Maybe we've got a conversation after Secret Empire is over. But man, let me tell you something. In here, in this comic book, we have Peter Parker doing an interview about the two recent shakeups that happened. First off, the nausea and all that problem that happened with the webware, where he's fairly easy able to talk his way out of that. Now, it's not quite so easy to talk his way out of a corporation invading a country. That's actually a big deal, guys. But it actually goes over pretty well. His aunt talks some good about him. Silver Sable talks some good about him. And, he's just like, if you don't like the idea that I just helped, get rid of a dictator, and he does it in a better way than what I'm saying it. I'm not going to like plagiarize and read directly out of the freaking comic book, but I mean, the talking points that were used here, he actually went into detail and didn't go too in-depth, but he went in-depth enough that it came off really well. Now, you have Anna Marie over on the other side directing him, and she says, don't flake out. You have a history of being flaky. Don't run away and all that crazy stuff, in the middle just because you hear something crazy. And at one point, he does actually try, 2 points he tries to leave, but at one point, he seriously tries to bug out and get the heck out of Dodge to fly into freaking space? I mean, come on, to go and help Captain Marvel and all that stuff. So this comic, mind you, is placed at around issue 0 of Secret Empire. So there's that, just so that we have an idea of the timeline here. But here's where I had to compliment Stuart Immonen. This page where it's Anne Marie giving him the look of don't you dare leave. Parker's getting ready to leave. He looks at her. She's like, don't you dare. And a couple of hand gestures. And he sits back down. He's not comfortable, but he's doing it. And his eyes are bugged out wide. Dude, this was really good art. Like, this reminds me of the kind of work that Steranko used to do way back in Nick Fury books, where like a page with no words would still tell an amazing story. And that's actually what, like, it was very brief, and it was only like 4 panels or something like that. But those 4 panels, that was good. That was expert. You can't do that too often, but when you do, make it count like this. Sorry, I'm gushing over it, but seriously, that was awesome. That was amazing, if you don't mind the pun. Now, Peter Parker himself afterwards decides to go up to Parker Industries as Spider-Man, a quick security check because he notices that something's wrong. A little spider sense tingling action there, right? So he goes up and he's attacked by Hydra, like they're actually infiltrating the company and whatnot. So he deals with them, and then he goes into his own office, and there's Superior Octopus just sitting there in that totally awesome comic costume. And he's sitting there, and Parker says, listen, Doc, I'm going to make you a deal, all right? I know that you want to go straight. We've been in each other's head. I know that you're actually a good guy, all right? So I'm going to help you, and I'm going to give you all the resources of my company, possible. And yeah, Doc Ock, rightfully so, cuts him off and shuts him the hell up. Guys, I know I read Spider-Man and I comment on Spider-Man. I do reviews for Spider-Man. I don't really like Peter Parker that much, okay? It's not that I hate him. I don't hate him. Don't you dare get me wrong. But Peter Parker is, as Doc Ock would say, an impetuous youth. It doesn't matter how much older he gets. He's still really dumb. And this is not just, I know a lot of people hate on Dan Slott. This is not just Slott making him this way. Go back and read from Amazing Fantasy number 15 and on. This is who Peter Parker is, and he's never stopped being this guy. Once in a while, like he's always been the head forward, lead with your jaw kind of guy, and he's just, he doesn't think, right? He's a brilliant guy who just doesn't think. He's got the emotional IQ of like a 15-year-old, and that's giving the benefit of the doubt. I'd say a 12-year-old, all right? Like I'd expect that if he played a video game, he'd be trolling us online, talking about, oh, that's right, I kicked your butt in this game, and now your mom's a hooker and stuff like that. Yeah, that's who Peter Parker is, man. So here we have Doctor Octopus tells him straight out, listen, man, like, I want the company. Because it's not your company. It's my company. Every single thing that happened in regards to this company, you got it because of me. It was me inside of your body who made this company. I got you your degree. You were sitting there flipping around and doing whatever and being all sorts of almost inconsequential to the world by going after things directly. I made spider bots. I went out and looked around. Yeah. So whatever. Green Goblin got around that. One little kink in the armor doesn't change the fact that he was way more effective than Peter Parker ever was. He was able to get his college degree, to actually turn around and start Parker Industries, in a very different way, but whatever. And the webware and all that stuff that was created during the Spider-Verse stuff. Dude, Peter Parker quite literally did absolutely nothing to create this company. He had it handed to him. Okay? None of this stuff was owed to him. This was all 100% Doctor Octopus, and he rightfully says, now I want my company back. Now, granted, Doctor Octopus is a jerk, okay? I'm not going to argue that. But he's totally a jerk, and he says, listen, I'm going to do what I want to do, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I think that Parker should have, my opinion, Parker should have very simply said, you know what? You're right. And if you just give me your word and just, listen, not even give me your word, just listen, I apologize for being that stupid little kid who was always insulting the big heavy guy who was actually a genius when Parker was just smarter than the average bear, And I know I'm getting way off base here, but this is my opinion because I feel that this comic was done very well. All right. Every single thing that is happening good in Peter Parker's life right now is still residual of Dr. Octopus getting involved in his life. So Parker basically says, I will never give you my company. My company. His company? Really? Just wrong answer. So we basically get a Dune moment. All right. I don't know if you guys remember the book Dune, Frank Herbert, he wrote this incredible book called Dune. All right. It was made into a crappy movie and a pretty darn good sci-fi series. And it's going to be made it into another movie soon. Hopefully that's good. Whatever. We have a Dune moment here where Dr. Muad'Dib Octopus says, joke there. He says, listen, if I'm going to prove to you that I actually own this company, because to own a thing is to be able to destroy a thing. All right. You can't truly own something if you're not capable of destroying it. And that's what he does. He actually destroys Parker Industries. He destroys the building. All right. Parker takes a pogo plane out of there, and you got to give that to the Fantastic Four, man. They had that way back in the day. I know the pogo plane came out in like the 50s, but whatever. They're still relevant because of the Fantastic Four. So once again, another great idea that Parker didn't have. He simply stole from Reed Richards in this particular case. So yeah, he flies out of his building, and immediately Dr. Octopus destroys the building, from the outside. He doesn't kill himself. So the whole building comes crashing to the ground. There's Anna Marie. She's looking in absolute disbelief, and it's an amazing, amazing turning point. Guys, if you can't tell, I'm giving this comic book an A+, and I might just very well make this my pick of the week because, yeah, it's actually that good. I'll actually let you know after I've read all of the comic books for the week. I'll let you know on Saturday in my podcast. But right now, this seems to be my pick of the week. Even though Secret Empire 5 was absolutely amazing and every single page was riveting and twists in it, this comic book, this literally had me the implications inside, and the idea of what Dr. Octopus is planning is just, he's masterful. He brought Tony Stark to his knees. How many people have ever been able to do that before? Spider-Man hasn't. So yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold, and this storyline is not allowed to end. That's really all I could say about it. Guys, that's pretty much it for me for this review. A very long Spider-Man review. Sorry. I feel it was worth it. Anyway, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.